Imagine this. Your brain is processing more information than you consciously realize, and most of it shapes your behavior without you noticing. For years, you have been splashing in the shallow tide, unaware that beneath the surface lies a mechanism so powerful it can literally reshape the reality you see every single day. Most people go through their entire lives thinking they're at the mercy of their circumstances, but the truth is far more exciting and slightly terrifying. We are going to explore the hidden architecture of your brain and how you can finally take the wheel of your own destiny. But before we dive into the science, there's one specific, almost haunting psychological trigger that controls 90% of your decisions without you even realizing it. I will reveal that specific secret at the very end of this video, and it will change how you see yourself forever.
Welcome to Intelevo Mind, where we peel back the layers of the human experience to understand what truly makes us tick. You might feel like your habits, your fears, and even your successes are just part of who you are, but psychology tells a very different story. Your mind is essentially a highly sophisticated supercomputer that has been running on outdated software installed during your childhood. Every limitation you feel is often just a line of code written by a past experience that no longer serves you. Today, we are not just talking about positive thinking or simple motivation. We are looking at the hard science of cognitive rewiring. By the time we finish, you will understand how to bypass your internal resistance and unlock a level of focus you never thought possible. This journey is about reclaiming your mental sovereignty and finally understanding the engine that drives your life.
Let's talk about neuroplasticity, which is arguably the most groundbreaking discovery in modern neuroscience. For a long time, scientists believed that once you reached adulthood, your brain was basically set in stone and could no longer change. We now know that this is completely false, because your brain is actually more like Play-Doh than a porcelain statue. Every time you learn a new skill, think a new thought, or challenge an old belief, you are physically carving new pathways in your gray matter. It's like walking through a thick forest. The first time is hard, but the more you walk the same path, the clearer the trail becomes. This means you are never truly stuck with your current personality or intelligence level. You have the biological equipment to literally build a better version of yourself from the inside out, provided you know exactly how to trigger these changes effectively.
While your conscious mind is busy processing this information, your subconscious is the one really running the show behind the scenes. Think of your conscious mind as the captain of a massive ship, but the subconscious is the engine room and the crew. The captain might give the order to turn left, but if the crew is convinced that going right is safer, the ship won't budge easily. This internal conflict is why you often set goals only to abandon them within weeks. Your subconscious mind doesn't care about your happiness or your success. Its only job is to keep you safe and consistent with your past. To unlock your power, you must learn to communicate with this deeper layer in a language it understands, which is primarily through repetition and emotional intensity. Once the engine room is aligned with the captain, your progress becomes almost effortless.
You might be wondering why it feels so difficult to break a bad habit or start a new healthy routine. This is due to the psychological concept of the habit loop, consisting of a cue, a routine, and a reward. Your brain is a master of efficiency, and it loves to create shortcuts to save energy, even if those shortcuts lead you toward things you don't actually want. When you understand the psychology of the reward, you realize that your brain isn't actually craving the cookie or the social media scroll. It's craving the dopamine hit that follows. By identifying the specific triggers that set off your negative loops, you can begin to insert new behaviors that provide a similar psychological satisfaction. This isn't about willpower, which is a finite resource. It's about strategic engineering of your daily environment to make success the path of least resistance. Another incredible tool in your mental arsenal is the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS, which acts as a filter for the millions of bits of data hitting your senses. Right now, your brain is ignoring the feel of your clothes against your skin or the distant hum of traffic so you can focus on my voice. The RAS filters out what it deems unimportant based on what you focus on most frequently.
If you constantly tell yourself that you are unlucky or that opportunities are scarce, your RAS will literally hide opportunities from your conscious view. However, when you practice intentional visualization and clear goal setting, you are essentially programming your filter to look for solutions and coincidences that align with your desires. This is why people who focus on growth seem to get lucky more often. They aren't luckier, their brains are just finally allowed to see the possibilities. Now, we have reached the moment where I reveal that disturbing psychological secret I mentioned at the beginning of our journey. There is a phenomenon known as cognitive ease, which is the brain's tendency to mistake things that are familiar for things that are true. This is the secret trap that keeps people stuck in toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, and limiting beliefs for decades. Your brain would rather you be miserable in a familiar environment than happy in an unfamiliar one, because the unknown represents a potential threat to your survival. This means that your comfort zone is actually a biological prison designed to keep you stagnant. The only way to truly unlock your mind's power is to consciously choose discomfort until that discomfort becomes the new familiar. Once you realize that your feeling of safety is often just a sophisticated lie told by your amygdala, you gain the power to step forward.
As we conclude this deep dive into the architecture of your mind, remember that you are the architect, the builder, and the resident of your own mental world. The power of psychology isn't just in understanding these concepts, but in applying them to the small moments of your day. You have the neuroplasticity to change, the subconscious depth to sustain that change, and the filtering systems to find a way forward. If you found these insights valuable and want to continue mastering the mechanics of your consciousness, make sure to join our collective. We are building a community of individuals who refuse to live on autopilot and are dedicated to seeing the world as it truly is. Join the top 1% of thinkers who are actively rewriting their own mental code by hitting that subscribe button right now. Your journey toward total mental mastery has only just begun, and the next chapter is entirely up to you.